Um, I don't like to talk about myself in third person because it doesn't really sound too humble. um, so I'm 29 already, and for the last 2 years, almost 2.5 years, I've been living in Nigeria. I never really knew that I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I did, however, had some needs in my life that then I realized that I'm able to fulfill that needs by being an entrepreneur. And I realized there are three specific directions where my needs always came from. I always was competitive. I like to win, but I was never really good at sports. So that didn't work out for me. I always liked to build something from scratch. I love the concept where something is born in my mind and then I see it working in reality, but I never really had talent to draw or build anything. I wasn't an artist. And I always had this specific need of feeling free, to that extent even that when I log into an e-commerce website and they want me to register and come up with a password idea, and they tell me what kind of password that needs to be. It doesn't need to be shorter than 8 words and it has to have one capital letter and one digit. I always get pissed off because of that, even to that extent. And after some time I just realized that when you're an entrepreneur, you have that satisfaction of winning by building something. You have that satisfaction of seeing that something is material after it was in your head before. And it gives you a certain level of freedom because you have the right to decide where your company is going to, what you want to do next day with your company. After high school, I really wanted to move out of my small city. The city was in the size of Ikoyi, like phase 1. It was around 100,000 people. I was born and raised in Poland, and I moved to a bigger city, and I decided to study engineering and management because when I was 19, I didn't really know what I want to do in my life. I was just good at maths, like I always like to say. But after some time I realized that this is really not for me, and at the same time I was financially dependent on my family because they were helping me with the studies. And I realized that in order to be free, I have to be financially free. That's one of the biggest mysteries of the world today. So I quickly, by accident, started working in a financial services company as a salesman. I was selling bank products, insurance products for almost for 3 years. And I turned out to be pretty good at it. I ended up being the youngest manager there. But slowly I realized that this is not something I want to do forever. And I got burned out actually. At the same time of my life, I started reading articles and seeing documentaries about startups in Silicon Valley, from the USA of course, doing all this cool stuff, being able to change the world from your laptop. And I decided that first of all I can do that as well. And I want to change and jump into that particular sector of online startups. I was 22 at that stage. I decided to invest all my savings I had into building online startups, and of course the first couple of them were total disasters, but they gave me a good lesson. And then I was able to build a couple more startups, not with my money anymore because I didn't have it, but with the financial backup of a VC from Poland. And I was fortunate enough to build 2 startups. One of them was called Mementis, the other one was called Motor Reporter, an online marketplaces for niche services in Poland. And in 2013, I had an opportunity to sell them, and I decided to take that chance because that was fast forward to year 2013. I realized that spending my whole life in Poland, I feel like I'm missing something. And I wanted to combine adventure of tasting the world with business adventure, because I'm not this type of person that can just stop working. And I wanted to move. I was actually about to move to the United States and try to do something there, either work for an online company or start your own. But at the same time, by accident again, and thanks to networking and LinkedIn, I met people that at that stage were running Jumia in Nigeria, and they told me about totally different things than you can learn from the internet about Nigeria. And they told me, they showed me, they made me understand that if you want to have an international adventure in an amazing and very challenging and adventurous market, also with online startups, Nigeria is a great place to be. So I didn't really think much. I had nothing that holded me in Poland besides the company at that stage. After I was able to close the deal of selling the company, I just packed my suitcase and I landed in Lagos after a couple months after I met for the first time Jumia guys. And fast forward 2 years after, we're here. Jovago right now is the biggest online travel agency focused on hotels in Africa. Actually, we're on 3 continents right now with more than 400 staff. Just in Nigeria, we have around 100 people right now in the office and another 100 of field agents working in many Nigerian states to help us put hotels in Africa and hotels in Nigeria online and allow our customers find the best deals and make them book that particular room in the hotel, first of all seamlessly with a great customer service, and last but not least with the best price available. Initial challenges were pretty basic. I've never lived in Africa before, I've never lived in Nigeria before, and in order to do any type of business, so I mean signing deals with hotels, establishing any type of strategic or marketing partnerships with other institutions in Nigeria, to recruiting people and knowing how to manage people here, I had to learn the culture and I had to learn the people and their mentality. So first couple months for me was a very, very important lesson of the market and of the people and of the culture and of the mentality. And only after I've built some certain level of confidence that I already know a little bit about it, I could start properly building the business. The second huge part of initial challenges was to try to crack the market from the marketing perspective. How to really market Jovago so people get to know about us and start finally using us. Because just because we are an online startup, it doesn't mean that all you have to do is put some money into Google advertising. It's actually the total opposite. We have to do a lot of offline marketing activities. So these are the initial most important challenges. Current challenges, I think this is a type of challenge that every company in Nigeria shares, maybe not even in Nigeria, in Africa and worldwide as well. It's relatively easy to deliver the best services, and by service I mean whatever your company is offering. It can be product, it can be customer service, it can be hotel booking. It's relatively easy to deliver a certain satisfying level of services when you have 100 customers per day or 1,000 customers per day. The biggest challenge is to be able to deliver the same high level of services with the same level of customer satisfaction when you have 10,000 customers per day or 100,000 customers per day. These are the biggest challenges that are not visible for anyone from the outside, but are very, very time consuming and intelligence consuming in order to crack them down when you grow your company and you want to take it to the next level. So I would say the problem of scalability right now is the biggest challenge for Jovago. I don't think I ever had a plan B. I never really allowed myself to think that Jovago wouldn't work. Probably the question should be, what would I be doing now if I didn't meet Jumia guys? I didn't meet the Jumia founders. I would probably be working for an online company in USA or still in Poland, or I would be running another startup from Poland. I don't really like that question, what if. It brings you to a certain areas of thinking that are very time consuming. I always like to focus on what is going to be, because I decided something, not what if I haven't decided that.